Hey everyone, this is George Couros. Welcome back to another episode of the Innovators Mindset podcast. And what I'm going to do today is just kind of revisit a conversation I had with a group in South Carolina. I was with their Learning Forward state conference. Really amazing group, amazing questions. And one of the things that I really try to do is share some ideas with that group. And I always default to whoever I'm speaking to as the experts. I'm just sharing some ideas, and that's what I'm trying to do today. But I also encourage them to challenge some of the things that I share, and people are excited about that opportunity to kind of push back. And I really love it too, because it really makes me sharper and think deeply about why I share what I share and to really dig deep into it. So that's what I'm actually going to do today is try to kind of go through one of the comments, and maybe this person who challenged me, and she was absolutely wonderful, to kind of maybe she'll see this and just kind of give some thinking. And the conversation that I had in South Carolina is really kind of based on what my goal of the work is that I do. And really simply put, I always share this, is my job is focus on how do we help learners find a pathway to success that is meaningful to them. Not get them to college, not get them career ready, but a pathway to success that's meaningful to them. Now, this is really important to note. I would never stop a kid going from college. There are some jobs that are absolutely, you need to go to college. You need to go to university. It's mandatory for you to be able to get that job. But I just think there's different opportunities. And when she challenged me on this, we were having this conversation. She's like, why do you not think college is kind of the way? And I'm paraphrasing, but it challenges some thinking. And I'm not just talking colleges, but trade schools, different opportunities. These are really wonderful opportunities for our kids, but there are different opportunities as well. And when I was thinking about and reflecting on this conversation today, I go back to a quote I shared in my book, The Innovator's Mindset. And really, it really defines a lot of how I think today. And I'll link down to the book. I still think it's almost 10 years old. It's still relevant to this day. This book, because it is really how to deal with change, and we are constantly in a time of change. It's really just how quickly change is happening. But this is a quote that I absolutely love, and I want to kind of dig into, is from Thomas Friedman. He shares this: the world only cares about and pays off on what you can do with what you know, and it doesn't care how you learned it. So as I was thinking about this conversation, I have like this George Costanza moment when the Jerk Store episode where he like, that's what I should have said. And this is that's what I should have said. Kind of going into this, I was actually thinking about a friend of mine who I've mentored probably over the last 5 or so years. And he's younger than me. He's probably about 20 years younger than me. And he's actually a very good family friend now. His name is Justin Kulbiski. And interestingly enough, this podcast, this camera, this audio that's being set up, I actually bought because of him. And I didn't know him. I went to Best Buy one day, and I needed podcast equipment, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what I need, how to set up. So I remember walking in there, and there's this young guy who's working. I said, listen, I want to start a podcast. I'm kind of getting into it. I don't know what I need to buy. I don't know what I need. Can you just tell me what to get? Just tell me what to get. And so all this stuff that is actually in this podcast is really because of Justin. And that's the first time I actually ever met him. And he helped me bring all this stuff to my car. And he said, I'd love to connect with you, learn more about what you do. And he shared with me that he was a photographer, and maybe not a photographer. He was doing media, like videos, photography, things like that. And so we had connected. And I remember one night he came over to my house, and we were having a conversation. We were watching a movie, and I was telling him about some of the things that I have done to invest my own money in over time. And how did I actually learn how to invest money? It was from going online, also from reading a book. I highly suggest it. It's called Money by Tony Robbins. Actually, my friend A.G. Giuliani suggested that book to me, and it's really helped me significantly in my own investing strategies. And it's not something I learned in school. It's not something I went to business school or anything like that. It's just something I picked up on my own. And it's made a huge difference, not only to right now, but to my future. And it's something I'm really excited about. I've really been working with schools on this concept of financial fluency. How do you actually get students to leverage money so that they, have long-term opportunities, not just learning how to like deal with credit cards and pay taxes, but actually leverage money to create some opportunities for them. And I've actually been self-taught on this stuff as well. So as we're having this conversation, I didn't know this about Justin, but he had went to business school for like either a year or two. And so he went there after high school. And I remember him saying something along the lines of, I've learned more about finances in an hour with you than I did in years of business school. And I don't know the school. I don't know anything about that. And maybe this wasn't the focus of it at all. But a lot of the things that I taught him in that 1 hour, he implements to this day. And I'm self-taught. I didn't go to business school. I didn't do that at all. But the other thing that I was thinking about is what's interesting is Justin was working at Best Buy at that time. And he actually does video, media, and he does so many different types of projects. He will work with realtors. He's worked with NBA players. He's worked with, weddings, all these different people. And we were talking about this conversation that I just had yesterday. And I'm like, you are the perfect example of this. Because when you do your work, when people request you, do they ever ask where you went to college, what credentials you have? And he's like, never. They never look at it. What they actually look at is his work because it's online. You can see it on social media. He has a website, all these other things. And he actually never went to school for any photography. All of this is self-taught, and he created an opportunity for himself. And what's really kind of interesting is Justin actually works for himself now. He's working Best Buy. He's kind of trying to build his business as he was going. And now he just independently does this all the time. Do we see that as an opportunity? Do we see that as an opportunity where you could actually go into something you're really passionate about and open some doors yourself? And do we actually say like, no, you have to go to school for this? Because maybe you've had a photographer for a life event. Did you look at their credentials? Did you look at where they went to college? And maybe some of you say, yeah, absolutely, I did. But I know in certain times in my life, I didn't look at any credentials other than the work that I could see. It was like, they do good stuff. So this is someone I'd like to hire. And it goes back to this quote: the world only cares about and pays off when you could do with what you know, and it doesn't care how you learned it. I think that's a really important part. It doesn't care. That's the thing that we have to start understanding. There's so many different opportunities for our students to learn things that they're really passionate about and make careers out of them. When we are really adamant about kids going to college because that is the experience we expect out of them, I think it limits some of their opportunities for what they're doing. And people get mad when I say this, but it is true. The only thing college guarantees for many people in our world today is debt. It doesn't guarantee them a job. It doesn't guarantee them a purpose. And we were even having that conversation today. Some people say like, hey, college is a great experience. But what do we mean by that? Like, what is the experience, right? And is it experience you can get from traveling? That would probably be a little bit cheaper. And you get to see different cultures, how people live in different countries. So there's different things about this too. And the beautiful thing about college or post-secondary, you don't have to go when you're done high school. You can go when you're 90 years old if you wanted to. There's always opportunity. And so I just think, and again, I want to really make this clear. I'm not saying that we shouldn't, that we should stop kids from going to college or university. I'm not saying that at all. But we just have to recognize there are different opportunities for our kids that there wasn't for us. I don't know how a photographer became a photographer in the 80s when I was growing up. I don't know that process. I don't know how they got their information out other than maybe having one of those giant books that you can just flip through. I don't know. But I do know now that people are creating these opportunities for themselves, and people are more interested in the work that they do than necessarily the credentials. And maybe I shouldn't even say that, because maybe the work that they do is the credentials. And it's just something to think about. So I just wanted to kind of go through that in my brain. I actually am going to blog about this as well, but I want to kind of talk it through, share some ideas with you as well. And again, going back to the drive of the work I do, how do we help learners find a pathway to success that is meaningful to them? Not what we determine is success for them, not what we determine shows that they have achieved something. It is really important that they actually have the ability to define what success is for them and then pursue that goal. I think that's something I'm really passionate about. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Maybe I'm totally off. And it's just something that we have to kind of understand. There's so many different opportunities for our kids. We want to open every door possible for our students. And that includes how they think about the world in front of them. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. I hope you got something on this. I'm really curious about your thoughts. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for always you. Take care.